So what's the Grape Explorer talking about today? Well, we are back to Bordeaux and we are talking about some great wines and great discoveries. Again, we talk about the past, the present, and the future of Bordeaux. And I want to bring up a wine that actually has an interesting past with me. And this is called Chateau Cote de Baleau. And Cote de Baleau has always been one of the really true, if you want to call it, great values in Saint-Emilion Grand Cru Class A. They really fly under the radar. Nobody really knows it. It's a very small vineyard in Saint-Emilion. It's managed by Sophie Fourcade, and for years and years and years, they were the ones that were involved. But it goes back to 1643, and but now it's changed hands in 2013. The Cuvier family, owner of Clos Forte and Chateau Peugeot, are now running this property, and they have quite a task ahead of them to run this property because Cote de Baleau has got 3 different wines that are involved here. So you've got, of course, Cote de Baleau is the largest production. Then you have 2 micro cuvées that we call Grand Morellet, and that's an interesting property because as you're driving into the city of Bordeaux, you can see the remnants of an old church that was actually torn down from the 14th, 15th century, and that's actually the vineyards of Grand Morellet. And then they have another wine, which is another micro cuvée called Clos Saint-Martin. I was used to bringing these wines in close to 25 years ago. This was always, like an easy sell. I mean, because the wines retail for anywhere between $25 to $30. Yes, for a Saint-Emilion Grand Cru that is just absolutely spectacular and delicious. The 2022, we always talk about the next vintage up, the best Cote de Baleau I think they've ever made. I mean, we're talking about wines that hit the 94, 95 plateau. Usually they come in around 90, 92, which are rock solid wines. But, now you're talking 2022, the wines are like on steroids. They're like huge, big, rich, beautiful wines, but they never ever escape that terroir. And we want to explain why. Because they're in the Côte Pete, which is the greatest area in all of Saint-Emilion. That's where you have Chateau Ozon. And, you can actually walk to Cote de Baleau. They are near our friends. We were here there in April visiting our friends at Chateau Lagniappe. And as you're driving to Lagniappe and you're trying to get to Lagniappe, just outside the town, we're only talking like 10-minute, 5-minute drive. And as you're driving, it'll say right, you go to Lagniappe, and left, you go to Cote de Baleau. So they're right in that section where our friends, Arnaud and Florence live with Chateau Lagniappe. I want to give a shout out to them. But this was always under the radar for me. I mean, nobody really knew Cote de Baleau. I'm bringing it up because I think it's sheer value. I want to bring value to the consumers because people say, well, Bordeaux's kind of expensive, isn't it? And it's like, well, you got to learn and you got to search and you got to find. And Cote de Baleau is never going to be more than $30. Actually, you can buy this on Premier right now for about $25, $30, and it's not going to increase anymore in 30. And you can even go back and try to find maybe 14 or 15 or 16 in these wines. They're roughly about $25 to $30 a bottle for a really, really classic Saint-Emilion. Again, always trying to find value, always trying to find great Bordeaux. Again, this is the Grape Explorer talking about terrific, terrific wine values in Bordeaux.